course. Francesca is from, as she mentioned earlier, Central Florida, around the Orlando area. I actually have family in DeLand, by the way, so I'm very familiar with the area.
Cool.
I also went to boot camp in Orlando, so I know the area quite well. But what I don't know is kind of what it's like growing up there. So tell us what it was like for you as a young kid in Orlando.
Well, actually, I'm originally from Pennsylvania and I moved to Florida when I turned 8.
Okay.
So I really spent like half of my life so far in Pennsylvania and half of my life in Florida. And when I lived in Pennsylvania, I wasn't really in the music scene yet. So when I moved to Florida, that's when I kind of made the decisions that I wanted to be a musician. And I've loved growing up here. I've loved all the people I've met. I've loved performing around here. Although in the summer the outside gigs do get a little bit hot.
Oh, I imagine.
It's still very nice. I think the music scene here is absolutely amazing. There are a lot of amusement parks. I'm wearing a Universal shirt right now as we speak, but I guess I've always kind of grown up around amusement parks because where I lived in Pennsylvania, I would go to Hershey Park all the
Yeah.
time and this place called Knoebel. But I guess I was a very big amusement park person, but I've loved both places. I think I was very fortunate to live, here in Florida, and I do love it. I don't One thing I don't really love is the weather. The humidity kind of gets me sometimes, and I'm much more of a mountain person, and obviously there aren't many of those here, pretty much none. But for the most part, I love it, and I think I'm very fortunate to live here.
Yeah, I've noticed your tour schedule or your dates. Like you're very, very busy, and I've noticed that it's a lot of different types of venues as well. So it's a really nice scene there, then, isn't it?
It definitely is. There's so many different places to gig, and you're right, they all are very different. The way they look, the food they serve, so many different stages and people. It's also different, and I love the variety of it. It's really cool.
Yeah. So as you're growing up, how is music finding you initially? Like, how are you being immersed into music at first?
It was pretty much my parents. I grew up in a very musical household, not because they were in the music business, but just because they enjoyed music. They played it all the time. And my dad did play guitar as a hobby, not professionally or anything, but that kind of got me into guitar. He also collects them. And one day, I was maybe 6 years old. He got me my first guitar,
Wow.
and I just put it in my hands, and I did not know what I was doing. I mean, I still had baby hands at that point, but I thought it was really cool, and I thought it was a really cool instrument. And I knew I wanted to rock basically because I my parents played around the house like Aerosmith and Iron Maiden and the Doobie Brothers and Eagles and Leonard Skinner and all those different classic rock bands. And so obviously growing up with that, I grew a liking to that sound. And when I moved to Florida, I knew I wanted to sing, even though I had horrible stage fright. I knew I wanted to sing and overcome that. And so I started in musical theater. And musical theater helped me get over that stage fright big time. But after a few years of doing a bunch of shows, I loved it. But I was like, you know what? I want to rock. I'm going to get back to my rock roots. I want to sing like Iron Maiden and I'm going to write my own songs and play guitar. And so that's when I started taking guitar very seriously, very serious lessons. And I also made the route, the switch to artistry vocals as opposed to musical theater singing, which is very different.
Yeah.
So I think music has always been a very big part in my life. And I'm very happy that I've chosen it as my career path.